listen, I don't have to sell you on anything. I don't have to do that anymore. And not just because the football team is 6-2 at the bye. Good afternoon. Good Tuesday afternoon to you. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is the new Double Shot show that comes your way at 4 p.m. Eastern time every weekday. It's not just the record. It's not just first place. It's not just, and never forget this one, 3-1 inside the conference, something that really matters toward the playoffs. It's not just some of the gaudier statistics. It's not just the individual performances that are rising up. Najee Harris's last 3 games, everything that TJ Watt does, a lot of other players just gradually, quietly getting better, working better together. It's not just all of that. That's not why I don't have to sell you on anything anymore. I really don't. Because coming up after this break, I'm going to bring in Elandon Roberts to sell you on that. And he's pretty good at it. At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects. Welcome back, as promised, the one, the only, Elandon Roberts in-house here. What's going on?
Man, appreciate you having me, man. It was, you know what I'm saying, a good thing to be able to have a bye week this week, so got some time to come by and see you, man. And,
you promised, too.
Yeah, I did, and I'm a man of my word.
I see that.
I was definitely going to get out to see you.
I see that. You know, Elandon, one of the things I was just telling you before we got on was that I get the sense from a lot of people that they kind of wanted to see you take care of both of the New York teams. You know what I mean? Like kind of take care of business.
Yeah.
The stuff that you and I talk about regularly. And now that you did it, and now that you got the bye week, and like you were telling me in a locker room last night, like now we're there. We're 6-2. We got the bye. Let's heal up. Let's really ride into this second half.
Absolutely. You know, being able to take care of, you know, 2 teams of that caliber. You know, with the Jets, man, they have a talented roster across the board. So, you know, you can't take an opponent of that like lightly at all.
Oh,
you know,
Aaron Rodgers is on
exactly.
that side.
Come
Yeah,
on, man.
I mean,
like
what are we talking about?
Exactly, which we having it all. And with the Giants, man, they're a well-coached team by Dayball. You know, we knew that they was going to get some things going, and they did, you know, and stuff like that. You know, our offense came out and special team unit came out, and the offense got some great positive drives and stuff like that. Special teams, you know, with the big Calvin Austin
I feel
return.
Like we should play orchestra music every time you mention the term special teams anymore. Those guys, I just have to, before you even proceed to special teams, there's a different vibe in your room because of those guys. Like normally special teams guys, they're seen and not heard. They're kind of quiet, whatever. Yeah. Not in your room, man. Yeah. There's no difference between Rodney Williams and Russell Wilson.
Man, absolutely. But that's how we feel as a team. Like, you know, we show them guys, like, man, they just think about this. Special team starts every game.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a kickoff or kickoff return. They starts every series. It's going to be kickoff or kickoff return. Like, they start the momentum, and we embrace that. You know, one thing I can say about Mike T, man, like, he thrives off how our special team units come into it. And that's a big phase of the game, man. And, you know, I feel like we got the best special team coach in football, period. You know, with Danny Smith, because one thing about Danny, man, he's going to have us prepared for each game. He's going to put us, like, see the unknown without, you know, a team even doing it. He's going to get us prepared for every type of situation in special teams, because you can get a lot of situations in special teams. And I think with him, you know, with this new kickoff and kickoff return, he's done a great job of adapting to it.
He's way ahead
exactly,
of it. Yeah.
Exactly, adapting to it and getting us prepared for it. And it was, I'm telling you, with Calvin Austin, it was just a matter of time before he hit one. You know, and he got one last night.
He fought that for about a year and a half.
Man, I'm telling you, he got one last night, and we couldn't have been more excited for him and stuff like that, because how hard that guy worked day in and day out. in the building and not just for himself. He's trying to just make an explosive play for the team. And that's what you know, our special team unit, that unselfish guys. You got starters on there. You have guys that's willing to do anything. You know, these volunteers. You know what I'm saying? These are volunteers, man, and they giving it everything they got, and we appreciate them guys because they get the drive started for us.
Well, when we talk about drive, we can talk about emotion. I was talking last night with one of your fellow starting inside linebackers in Peyton Wilson, and this kid has, you want to talk about somebody who has his head screwed on, right, from day one. I know you get all happy when we talk about Peyton Wilson. And I asked him about this team's getting better week after week after week. And I was expecting him, to be honest with you, Elandon. I thought that I was going to get like some technical response like, well, you know, PQ is doing a good job with the green dot and Elandon is this, and we're all reading off each other. You know what I got instead?
What's up?
I got 2 words, energy and love. You knew I was going to say something like that, didn't you? Because that's who he is, isn't it?
Exactly.
He talked about the way the team responds to Danny Smith, like coming to the sideline and rushing. And he talked about the camaraderie that's developing, sticking up for each other. I noticed that you guys as a group, meaning just the 3 of you, the inside linebackers, when you're out on the field, you have literally each other's backs.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying when I say that too, because a guy misses one, but guess what? 6 is behind you or 41 is behind you.
Exactly.
Not that 50 ever misses one. But you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
How, you know, you had a similar bond last year with Quan Alexander, with Cole Holcomb. And again, we would all talk about that too. But here, how is this group coming along?
I think we're coming along great. You know, one thing with the NFL, every season, something's going to change. You know, and being a veteran in the room and the guys bringing in another veteran like Patrick Queen, you know, Pat Queen know how it go, you know. So when Peyton got drafted, we like got even closer to Peyton because it's a big unknown from a standpoint of he don't know what he don't know. So we wanted to just embrace him to be himself, be the football player that they brought you in to be. We're going to help you every step of the way and stuff like that. And don't be afraid to make mistakes because we got your back right off of it. And
that's an issue with him. That's an issue.
That's what we didn't build around. And man, Peyton do it great. Man, this guy is a student of the game. Peyton, I'm telling you, he's in the building early. He's leaving late. He's asking great questions. Sometimes he's repetitive with his questions,
which is okay. Get it to penetrate.
Exactly. And because he's a rookie and stuff like that. But I can tell you the maturity of him. Sometimes you'll forget he's a rookie because how mature and how he like just his aura.
He carries himself. Yeah, he's a serious kid, an unusually serious kid. We're not used to most of the rookies we deal with, since we mentioned Calvin Austin, are like Cal, where they're like,
exactly. And I think
Peyton's not that.
I think too with Peyton, the benefit he had was, you know, his older brother in the league, so he kind of know how he need to approach things. I think he do a great job with that. So that's really hats off to him and his family too, of just being so mature and stuff like that. But it's fun playing with us 3 and stuff like that because, like I said, it's no ego. Guys just want to fly around, make plays, and I'm telling you, like we're so like we're hard on each other, but at the same time we tell each other like, don't worry, like I'm gonna have your back.
Just go.
Like it's just
go.
You know what I'm saying.
And that reminds me. We talk about flying around. Peyton Wilson told me in Atlanta after the first game, and he said, listen, and he's looking at me and he goes, I'm learning. Okay. I'm trying to figure it out. Then he said to me, come back to me again in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Meaning you'll see what I actually am.
Yeah.
And that makes me think more about PQ even than him, because PQ comes here from a defense that's used to whatever else. And I remember PQ telling me in Las Vegas, he goes, this defense, the Pittsburgh defense, takes a lot of risks. We have to really trust each other because if I'm going after so-and-so, I need to know that 50 or 41 has my back, or that Deshaun Elliott comes up from the back. PQ is a guy, it's funny here in Pittsburgh now. Let's talk about like what it really is, where I don't think the fans have immediately understood him, where they're like, they're waiting. They think that they're just going to get Lawrence Taylor right off the bus. Okay. And PQ he's a really dynamic, different type of inside linebacker, isn't he? He's all over the field. He made a play last night. You might remember this, going all the way to the left sideline.
Exactly.
You know what I'm talking
yeah.
about. And Chris Halleck, a reporter, my staff, sitting next to me in the press box, and he goes, you see that? See that? That's what Patrick Queen brings.
Exactly, man. I think PQ is doing a great job of being a quarterback of the defense. He's been doing a great job of being a leader, making the plays that he needs to make and stuff like that. It's so early in the season. Like, you know, when you're a vet, you understand, like the fans want to see you just five every game. But as a vet, you kind of just, you know, you look at it like, all right, I'm going to make my plays. I want the splash plays, but I know it's a long season too. You know what I'm saying? And me, like, I be wanting to peak at the right time, you know, when I'm in that zone, you know, and stuff like that. And don't trust me.
Zone every snap. What are you talking about?
Look, trust me. Like, playing next to PQ, he's the most competitive guy in the building each day. This guy is trying to, he's trying to be the best at everything. And that's the kind of guy that you want. And that's why he was the green dot.
Dude, you picked up on this back early in training camp. I remember this. And in practices, in preseason, you had your inside linebackers around you at your stall. Okay. And watching, you're like conducting class over there. Okay. It's like this, let's just go hang out by 5-0 stall here. And PQ is that guy. And he did this again last night when you and I were talking. He's like this. He's thinking about all the plays he messed up or that he thinks he messed up. That's who he is.
But it's crazy because he's not necessarily thinking about the plays that he messed up. He's thinking about the defense as a whole.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, his mentality is he wants us to be perfect. He don't want any type of slippage. He don't want any type of inconsistency and stuff like that. And you need that. And that's the value that he brings to our defense. You know, that's the value that nobody will know if you're not on the team.
Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up your own contribution and your own approach to this, because they bring in PQ. They pay him $1 gazillion, all worthwhile. Okay. They bring in Peyton. They can't believe they got him in the 4th round, nor should they, by the way. And you never strayed. You never were like, oh no, they brought in people to potentially take my place. Why is that? You were just like, is that just your inner belief?
Man, it's a competitive league. It's a competitive. If Omar and Mike T isn't going out here to create a Super Bowl team, then what are we doing? That's what it's about. You know, if I am in my feelings or anything of that sort, because of that, I'm holding myself back, and I'm holding my team back from elevating. Because at the end of the day, look, we all got one goal. We trying to hold a Lombardi. I'm out there, I'm trying to get one for my dog, Big Cam. You know what I'm saying? He deserve it. You know, and me being in my feelings about something that I can't control, that's nothing. But what I can control is going out there being the best Pittsburgh Steeler that I possibly could be and stuff like that. That's all I want to do. You know, so with them bringing Peyton and PQ in, to be honest with you, it's been joyful, because that's just, I done got 2 new brothers. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy playing with them each week. Like, that's my dogs. You know, we going to be texting each other over this bye. We can't leave each other alone and stuff like that. But, you know, we got a great dynamic going. And one thing about me is I want to retire Pittsburgh Steelers, period. I look at this to be my last stop, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah, I got to, you know, this is on my deal, but I'm be a Pittsburgh Steelers. So, you know, it's great, you know. And like I said, I never looked at that as a shot at me. No, we're trying to conduct, like Omar trying to put together a Super Bowl team. And I think he's doing a great job at it. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And we needed to go get 2 more pieces at the linebacker. And we didn't have you know,
I get it.
You know, Cole, he still's coming back. And it was only me and Mark. Like that, you had to and stuff like that.
Robinson.
Mark Robinson. And I feel great about it, man. And it's been, and you see everything is paying off in dividends.
I know how you feel about Mark Robinson.
Yeah.
I don't ever have to wonder about that.
That's my little brother, man. Yeah.
And he made himself a play last night on special teams as well. He was out there for that punt return. And those guys, by the way, you want to talk about guys deserving of a collective game ball.
Absolutely.
Everybody and Rodney Williams and everybody else who blocked on Cal's punt. Cal's trying to remember everybody's names as he's going. You can picture him doing that. Last thing I have for you, Landon, I'd be crazy if I didn't ask you this. When you're on the football field, I'm going to share this from a press box perspective to you. When you're watching a game, sometimes our press boxes are really far from the field. In Las Vegas, we were up in orbit. In the Raiders Stadium. Gotcha. We're like way out there. One of the coolest experiences that I have is seeing a player on the Pittsburgh defense knife through the line and go at somebody in the backfield and never having to look at your number, okay? Because that's your approach. It isn't everybody's, okay? Where do you get that from? Because it's not everyone doing that. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, of course, I just want to go after that guy in the backfield. You shoot yourself through it like a rocket. And at the same time, you're like, you understand that if you miss, you know?
I know what's coming with it.
Right. But you've always done it that way. Why? What is that? Is that the 6th rounder? Is that the whatever?
I just think that's the maturity of me. Early in my career, I kind of struggled with. I was always a downhill backer to a point of that. You know, it got me in trouble sometimes with when teams would do boots and when team would do play action. I'm stuck in a line and stuff like that. And I just think the growth of I've been in this 9 years now. I done kind of seen it all and kind of knew, okay, what they can do, when I can take my shot, when I can't take my shot. So I think it's just on me maturing as a player and just seeing it all, knowing, okay, if I take my shot right here, it's no way this guy can block me if I shoot it fast enough. However, I'm going to have to beeline it too, just to make the play on the running back and stuff like that. So I say it's just over time, as a savvy vet, then seeing it all and stuff like that. I just know when I can't take my shots.
And the goal line is something else. You and I talk about the goal line at all, and your performances down there. I see people like half joking that he should be in the Hall of Fame for goal line play if there was such a creature. You down there and your ability to, where'd that thing hit? Your head or what?
The ball. Where I hit it out with my face, like on the ball.
He put his face into the ball at the goal line to make sure the thing popped out. You just don't care in that situation. You're not saying that, boy, I really need to preserve myself for later in the season, are you?
Nah, I just feel like when opportunity presents itself and you can go make a play for your team, man. I mean, come on, man. Like me and Mike T is very close, and I have a great relationship with Mike T. Just I have it with all my coaches, especially TA, our defensive coordinator. And when you
Terrell Austin, I'm filling in all his names here.
when they call my name, it's just like, hey, like, go get it done. And that was just a opportunity right there that I took, not thinking like, oh, I can get injured or something. Like, I'm not thinking like that. My dad had always raised me, look, if you go out there on that football field and you play to stay safe or you play not to get injured, you're gonna get injured. So if you do, you got to go out your way. So it was just like, hey, at that moment, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do whatever it takes for my team. And if it go a different way, I went out my way. It is what it is.
Your head coach's respect for you is immeasurable. I have a funny story I'm going to share with you now that I've never shared with you before. We were in Atlanta, not this season, last season, for the preseason game. Okay. And we're walking through the halls, heading back to the locker room after that thing. And I'm walking just coincidentally next to Mike Tomlin, and he points to you walking in front of us, and he says, "That's the guy you ought to be interviewing."
Got you.
And I said, and I just kind of, you know how when he's in his talking mood, you just kind of let him talk.
Yeah.
And I just let him finish. And he said, "That guy's legit." And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Nah, that's my guy, man. Mike T, that's my guy and stuff like that. And he knows, like, when he called my number, it's
coming.
Yeah. It's law. Like, it's going to get done, period. Like, I ain't.
Elandon Roberts, great to have you in here. Appreciate it.
Most definitely.
When we come back, J1Q.
Safety is a habit, Gun safety and responsible storage are no different. Help prevent gun accidents, misuse, and theft. Keep firearms safe and secure when not in use. For safe storage options, visit projectchildsafe.org.
All right, then. Tough act to follow, but here comes our J1Q, as always, this one from upstate New York.
Hey, DK, this is Dan from Rochester, New York, and I got a quick question for you. With as lights out as Beanie Bishop has been playing the last 2 weeks, what does this mean for Cameron Sutton and his return? Thank you.
Okay. Not exactly going to take it easy on me, huh? Beanie's played well. There's no other way to interpret 3 interceptions in 2 games. The 2 in particular, I thought, last week were outstanding against the Jets, where he really did his homework, as we would find out in the days that followed on Aaron Rodgers, certain tendencies that the New York offense had. This one was more of a crunch time, coming through in the clutch, bobbling it around a little bit, and then having it come down in his hands and settling, and everybody loving Beanie and all that other stuff. And it's great. Listen, there's no such thing as a bad takeaway for any defense in the NFL, as my previous guest, I'm sure, would agree. I don't know that that's the way the Steelers will be basing their decision. Yes, Mike Tomlin values splash. Terrell Austin values splash. How couldn't you value splash? But you'll have to recall that Beanie was an undrafted free agent out of West Virginia. He came in and really was a shortcoming over the first 2-3 games, probably not into the 4th. And that was understandable. That was natural. But you have to look at the way Tomlin just handled his quarterback situation and the way he said, look, we're up here, we're at this level, but we're striving to be great. They're going for a Super Bowl. They're trying to win a championship. If they see, by that I mean Tomlin and Austin, but really Tomlin, if they see Sutton as being their best chance because of all of his knowledge, because of he's been a pretty good inside corner guy for a long time. If they recognize that his athleticism is still there, if they recognize that he's got an awareness of the defense, and remember that even though he's suspended, he's still around. He's just not on the football field playing games. He can partake in everything, and he did. I think you're going to see Cam get on the field. I think you're going to see Cam start. Now, that doesn't mean you bury Beanie. It means you tell him, listen, kid, we gave you 8 games, and you showed yourself to be an NFL guy. You're young, be patient, blah, blah, blah. But my feeling is that it's going to be Cam, and I'm talking about immediately, as in Washington in the next game after the bye. I appreciate the question, Dan. I appreciate Elandon Roberts taking the time to come down and see us and to spend time with every one of you. And I appreciate everybody who watches the Double Shot Show. We're having some fun here, huh? Are you? Are you having fun yet?